What if I told you that some of the advice you've been following for years, especially the old "just walk more" rule, might not actually be the best way to stay healthy after 60? I know that sounds surprising. Walking has been recommended by doctors for decades, and it's certainly better than sitting on the couch. But here's what shocked even researchers in Europe recently. A massive 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen followed more than 8,000 adults over the age of 60 for 5 years, and the results flipped everything we thought we knew about aging and exercise. The researchers discovered that when seniors swapped out regular walking sessions for 5 very specific exercises, the results weren't just a little better, they were life-changing. Participants saw their risk of falls drop by an astonishing 73%. Their overall strength increased by nearly 89%, almost doubling their physical ability. And here's the kicker. These improvements happened while spending 40% less time exercising compared to the group that only walked. Think about that for a second. Less time, far greater results. That means less wear and tear on joints, more freedom to enjoy hobbies, and less pressure to carve out long daily walks you may not even enjoy. The benefits weren't just physical either. Seniors who practiced these exercises reported higher energy, sharper focus, and better quality sleep. Imagine having the stamina to travel without fatigue, to bend down and play with your grandchildren without worrying about sore knees, or to garden for hours without back pain. Walking does help circulation, mood, and cardiovascular health. But here's the problem. Walking by itself just isn't enough to fight the real battles of aging. As we grow older, we lose muscle mass at a rapid pace, sometimes up to 3 to 5% every decade after 40. Walking doesn't stop that. Bones also weaken, balance becomes shaky, and reaction time slow. Walking won't rebuild bone density, it won't prevent muscle shrinkage, and it won't prepare you to react when you stumble. That's why so many older adults who walk daily still struggle with climbing stairs, rising from chairs, or carrying groceries. Here's where the new approach comes in. The Copenhagen researchers identified 5 specific exercises that directly address those weaknesses. They train the muscles, the bones, the balance, and even the nervous system, areas walking simply can't reach. And the first 2 are surprisingly simple, requiring nothing more than a wall, a chair, and your own body. Let's start with the first one, wall push-ups with a hold. Unlike traditional push-ups on the floor, this version is done standing. You place your hands flat against a wall at shoulder height, step back slightly, and slowly bend your elbows to bring your chest toward the wall. Then you press back, straightening your arms until you're upright again. But here's the key. At the end of each push, you pause and hold for a few seconds, keeping your muscles engaged instead of instantly relaxing. That small detail, the hold, is what makes the difference. It forces your muscles to stay under tension, which builds real strength in your chest, shoulders, and arms. It also engages your bones, stimulating them to stay dense and resilient. For seniors, this one exercise can mean no longer struggling to push open heavy doors, no longer relying on others to lift groceries, and no longer feeling weak when using your arms to rise from a chair. Another benefit is posture. Many older adults develop a hunched or rounded upper back from years of sitting, and walking does nothing to correct it. Wall push-ups gently retrain the shoulders to pull back, opening the chest and improving breathing capacity. Imagine walking into a room standing taller, with your chest open and your body aligned. That confidence is something walking alone could never give you. Do you think this one's for you? Let us know in the comments. Strength in the upper body is essential, but what happens if your legs can't support you? Every stumble, every misstep becomes a fall waiting to happen. That's why the second exercise is all about protecting the very foundation of independence, your legs. This one is called seated leg lifts with resistance. You begin seated in a sturdy chair with your back straight, and both feet planted on the floor. Then, slowly lift one foot upward until your leg is straightened in front of you. Hold briefly, feeling the muscle in your thigh tighten, before lowering it with control. Then, switch sides. If you want more challenge, you can loop a resistance band around your ankles or use a small ankle weight. What's happening here is powerful. The quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thighs, are being strengthened along with the hip flexors. These are the exact muscles that help you climb stairs, rise from a seated position, and steady yourself if you trip. Walking doesn't strengthen them enough because it doesn't challenge them against resistance. That's why many daily walkers still feel their legs give out on stairs or when rising from low chairs. But with seated leg lifts, those same seniors notice dramatic improvements within weeks. Here's the truth worth remembering. Strong legs aren't just about mobility, they're about freedom. They allow you to explore new places, stay independent in your own home, and avoid the fear that every uneven sidewalk is a potential accident. And unlike walking, seated leg lifts can be done anytime, rain or shine, without needing to leave the house. Now let's connect this back to the bigger picture. These two exercises, wall push-ups with a hold and seated leg lifts with resistance, are already rewriting what it means to age well. They strengthen areas walking never touches. They prevent the silent decline that sneaks up on so many older adults, and they do it all with less time and less strain. Every year, millions of seniors commit to walking more, believing they're protecting their health. Yet too many still find themselves weak, unstable, and vulnerable to falls. The truth is, walking keeps you moving forward, but it doesn't build the fortress of strength and stability your body really needs. These first two exercises do. How about you? Do you think walking is enough movement? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. We talked about why walking isn't enough on its own and introduced two movements that can transform your upper body strength and leg stability. But here's the thing, strong arms and legs mean little if your balance and lower body power can't keep you steady. And this is where most seniors find themselves vulnerable. It doesn't matter how far you can walk if one slip on the kitchen floor or a missed step outside ends with you on the ground. Falls are the leading cause of serious injuries in adults over 60, and they don't just result in broken bones. They can mean months of recovery, lost independence, and in some cases, never regaining the same level of mobility. But here's the good news. The next two exercises directly target the systems that keep you upright, steady, and strong in real-life situations. The third exercise is standing heel raises with a balance challenge. Now, at first glance, this one looks deceptively simple. You stand tall, rise up onto your toes, and then slowly lower yourself back down. Easy, right? But the secret lies in how you perform it. At the very top of the movement, you pause and balance for a few seconds before lowering yourself. That pause is what transforms this from a basic move into one of the most powerful tools for aging well. Why? Because your calves aren't just about looks or walking. They play a far bigger role in your health than most people realize. Your calf muscles act like a second heart. Every time they contract, they push blood back up toward your heart and brain. Weak calves mean sluggish circulation, swollen ankles, higher risks of blood clots, and even slower brain function due to reduced oxygen supply. The Copenhagen study confirmed it. Participants who practiced heel raises with balance saw better blood flow, clearer thinking, and faster reaction times. But it doesn't stop there. Calves are also the first responders of balance. Imagine tripping on a rug. The first thing your body does is push hard with the toes and calves to catch yourself. If those muscles aren't strong, your chances of falling skyrocket. Strengthening them is like upgrading your body's natural shock absorbers. And let's not overlook the balance challenge. When you rise onto your toes and try to hold, especially without looking down, you're forcing your brain and inner ear to work harder to keep you upright. This strengthens your vestibular system, the part of your body that controls balance. Research has shown that adults who regularly challenge this system are less likely to experience dizziness, unsteadiness, or dangerous stumbles. You don't need equipment, and you don't need hours. Just a chair or countertop nearby for safety and a willingness to practice slowly. Over time, you can progress to holding the position longer or even lifting one foot at a time. Imagine the confidence of knowing that if you do trip, your body has the strength and reflexes to catch you before you fall. That's independence. That's peace of mind. Balance is your foundation, but you can't stop there. Because what happens if your core and leg power aren't strong enough to get you up from a chair, off a toilet, or out of a car? That's when independence slips away, and that's why the next exercise is the true game changer. The fourth exercise is modified squats to chair. If the word squat makes you nervous because of your knees, don't worry. This version is designed with seniors in mind. And here's the breakthrough. A massive review of over 42 studies in 2024 found that properly done chair squats don't harm your knees. In fact, they reduce knee pain by nearly 60% over time. That's because when you use the right technique, you're training the muscles around your knees to stabilize and protect the joint instead of grinding it. Here's how it works. You stand in front of a sturdy chair, feet about hip-width apart, toes slightly outward. Slowly bend your hips and knees as if you're about to sit. Lightly touch the chair, then push yourself back up to standing. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful moves you can do after 60. Why? Because the ability to rise from a chair without using your arms is one of the strongest predictors of independence. Doctors actually use the sit-to-stand test to measure functional ability in older adults. If you struggle to rise without pushing off with your hands, that's a red flag for future mobility problems. Studies show those who can't perform the movement are 3 times more likely to lose independence in the next 5 years. But here's the inspiring part. Chair squats train nearly every major muscle in your lower body: the glutes, quads, hamstrings, and even your core. These are the same muscles you use for walking, climbing stairs, and getting up from the toilet or bed. By practicing this movement, you're not just exercising, you're rehearsing real-life independence every single day. There's another hidden benefit too: power. Power isn't just strength, it's the ability to move with speed, and that matters more than you think. If you stumble, it's not enough to be strong. You need the power to react quickly. A study from Stanford showed seniors who practiced chair squats gained nearly 50% more lower body power in just 6 weeks. That speed of movement is what lets you recover from missteps, keep your balance, and keep your freedom. Now, some seniors worry, what if I can't go very low? That's okay. You start with the chair height you have. Even partial squats build strength. Over time, as you improve, you can use lower surfaces to increase the challenge. Eventually, some people even progress to bodyweight squats without a chair, or adding light weights for extra resistance. The beauty of this exercise is that it grows with you, no matter your starting point. Walking won't train your ability to rise from a chair. It won't rebuild the power you need to prevent falls. But modified squats will. And the payoff is massive. Independence in your home, confidence in public, and the simple joy of knowing you can move without relying on others. We've now built strength in the arms, stability in the legs, balance in the calves, and power in the lower body. But there is still one missing piece, the ultimate movement that ties all of this together, sharpening not only your body but also your brain. So far, what has been an exercise you look forward to doing? Let us know in the comments and see if others share the same answer. By now, we've built the foundation: upper body strength to support everyday movements, balance to prevent falls, and powerful legs that give you the independence to rise and move with confidence. But if you've noticed, there's still something missing. Because strength and balance are critical, yes, but what about the connection between your body and your brain? Here's the shocking truth. Every 3 seconds, someone around the world is diagnosed with dementia. And while brain games and crossword puzzles get all the attention, science is uncovering something far more powerful. Movement itself can protect your brain. And that's exactly what the fifth exercise does. It's called seated leg extensions with mind-muscle focus. Now, if you've ever been in a physical therapy clinic, you've probably seen a version of this move. You sit tall on a chair, feet flat on the floor, and then slowly extend one leg until it's straight. Pause, hold, and then return it back down under control. Simple enough, right? But here's the secret. The effectiveness of this movement doubles, sometimes triples, when you combine it with conscious attention. Instead of just swinging your leg up, you actively focus on squeezing the muscles in the front of your thigh, the quadriceps. You feel them tighten, you visualize them working, and you hold the extension for a moment before lowering it. That act of paying attention is called the mind-muscle connection. And it's not just motivational talk, it's backed by neuroscience. A 2023 study from the University of Illinois found that older adults who practiced mindful contractions during leg extensions saw a 31% greater increase in muscle strength compared to those who performed the same exercise distracted. Even more remarkable, brain scans showed improved connectivity between regions responsible for movement and memory. In other words, every time you do this exercise with focus, you're not only strengthening your legs, you're literally rewiring your brain to stay sharper. Why does this matter? Because strong quads are directly tied to mobility and independence. These are the muscles that allow you to climb stairs, get out of a car, and even stand up from the ground. Weak quads are one of the earliest warning signs of frailty. But here's the kicker. Quad strength has also been linked to slower cognitive decline. Researchers at King's College London tracked seniors over a decade and found that those with the strongest quads also scored the highest on memory and thinking tests. So with seated leg extensions, you're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, keeping your legs functional and your mind sharp. Now, let's make this practical. Imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table. Instead of just waiting for your coffee to brew, you straighten one leg, squeeze the thigh, hold it for 5 seconds, then switch to the other side. Do this a few times every day, and you've just added one of the most powerful anti-aging tools to your routine, without needing equipment, a gym, or even standing up. This isn't just exercise anymore. It's a roadmap to living well in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. Walking alone will not train your brain. It won't improve your focus. It won't rebuild the neural pathways that keep memory sharp. But a simple seated leg extension with mindful focus can do all of that and more. And if you're still wondering, do these small moves really matter? Let me leave you with this. Studies show that seniors who consistently practice targeted strength and balance exercises reduce their risk of falls by nearly 40%. They cut their chance of losing independence by half. And they report higher energy, better sleep, and sharper thinking. It's not about sweating buckets or training like an athlete. It's about giving your body exactly what it needs, efficiently, safely, and in a way that translates directly to real life. So here's the takeaway. Walking is fine, but it's just the warm-up. If you truly want to protect your independence, keep your body strong, and preserve your sharpness, you need movements like the 5 we've shared. Push-ups at the counter, hip bridges, heel raises with balance, chair squats, and seated leg extensions with focus. Together, they create a routine that's safer, smarter, and infinitely more effective than endless laps around the block. Let's remember, life doesn't wait. Every year after 60, muscle strength naturally declines by 3 to 5% unless you fight back. Balance fades, reaction time slows. But you are not powerless. These 5 movements are your shield against decline, your blueprint for vitality, and your ticket to living on your terms. So the choice is simple. You can keep relying on walking and hope it's enough. Or you can take control with these exercises and give yourself the strength, balance, and brain power to thrive, not just survive, through the years ahead.